Hey, this is Cody, and welcome to Abyss Front, a ship girl strategy game created by Komoe Game. If you've ever played Azur Lane or Cancol, you may already be familiar with the type of mechanics and gameplay Abyss Front has to offer. At this time, Abyss Front is an open beta in the Southeast Asia region, with plans to expand in the Japanese market just like Final Gear, and hopefully a promising North America release. Getting right into it, we're going to be taking a look at the different and various units that you can collect, and of course as well, looking into what's called the ABYSSAL form for every ship girl. If you have the 2D live art enabled in the settings, you can really see how fluid each unit looks. The art in this game is fantastic. Now, if you're a fan of Cancol, which is another ship girl collecting game, you may see the resemblance with the Abyssals looking like Northern Himes, the antagonist faction of Cancol. And of course, this has no relation to Cancol whatsoever, as the story of Abyss Front is set into the future of 2048. Most of these units are actually not released yet since it's in the open beta, but you could really see the detail and hard work that was put into each of these units. Let's take an overview of the combat. As you can see, there's going to be an auto combat mode, a combat speed multiplier, and auto skill casting toggle, so your units can perform their normal attacks, while it's up to you is to activate or not. You'll find that the battle animations are very fluid, and even in the settings, there's an option to have 30 FPS and of course 60 FPS. Now here's going to be a segment of the PvP in this game. I'm not the best, so please give me some leeway on my team building, but as you can see, just kind of like sorties, it's pretty straightforward. Now one thing I loved about Abyss Front that actually reminded me of Epic 7 was the anime-esque battle animations. You can really tell this team put hard work in polishing this game, and is definitely why I think showcasing this game and making people aware of it is going to help bring it over to North America. We have to be mindful this game at its core is a strategy game. If we drag the zoom slider at least 50%, we enter what's called invasion mode. Invasion mode actually shows you all the harbors that you currently control, with that certain blockades faction symbol. Harbors not under your control will be marked red. To take over a harbor, you need to be controlling a harbor with a direct route. Clicking on that harbor will show the interface of the possible enemies, drops, and the amount of resource generation gained if controlled. Now, just because a harbor is under your control doesn't mean you can't lose them. Enemy factions will actually periodically attack your harbors under your control if they're not properly defended. Along with capturing various harbors, you're gonna need to set up a patrol team. This kind of diamond icon will actually show you a list of all the harbors under your control, as well as showing any of your patrol teams stationed at those harbors. Patrol teams will automatically fight enemy teams, and if they win, will actually earn you defense rewards for your taking. Clicking on the Today harbor brings you to your dailies, or what the game actually calls the Abyss Leviathan. The 3 stages that you can farm are for materials such as leveling up, materials for your skills, or even materials for your abyssals. Different stages will range on different depths or difficulty, and of course, doing a higher difficulty will give you more rewards. Now with your formation, typically you would want your heavy cruisers at the front, your light cruisers or destroyers right in the middle, while aircraft and battleship carriers would be in the back. There's a whole bunch of different types of team comps in this game. PvE and PvP are entirely different. Now, when it comes to turning your girl into an abyssal, you need to gather the required materials and also have the required level to begin the process. Aside from the change of appearance, changing your girl into an abyssal form gives them different stat boost and access to different team coefficients. Now, what is a coefficient, you're probably wondering? A coefficient in this game is more so its type of family. If certain ship girls are in a team under the same coefficient, this actually gives the squad a team boost. Of course, with different coefficients giving various different types of stat boosts. Currently, there are 4 ways to obtain equipment: grind levels, buying high tier equipment boxes, doing different tasks like achievements, and lastly in your dorm using the equipment crafting room. Now, a cool thing about this game is it actually has an alliance or a guild that you can actually join. Currently, I'm not in a guild, but I do know if you're in a guild, there's actually different tasks and quests that you can actually do to raise your guild's rank. Along with having an alliance, you also have a social tab. This is where you could add your friends and add other players in the game. On the top right in the home menu, you can actually check your ranking. Now, honestly, I'm not too sure on what the first option is for and what we're ranking against, but the second option shows how many units you've collected and how many abyssal forms you've obtained. I really enjoy this aspect of ranking in a game because it really entices you to play and lets you see how you rank compared to other players, not to mention bragging rights in your friend group. Now, one of the most unique things I've ever seen in a gacha game is the banner called Purchase in Advance, which is just a weird roundabout way for saying 10 rerolls that you can do. Now, one of the most unique things about this reroll, the game lets you pick one of your choosing, so that means you could do all 10 and pick the one that's best for you. Now, the game actually let me do it 3 separate times, one in the beginning, one after hitting level 20, and then there was one a couple of days after, so I'm not really too sure if this is a standard or if this is an open beta type thing. Now, for the standard gacha, it requires you to use these blue cards. 1 card equals 1 roll, doing 10 cards is 10 rolls. Now, I can't tell yet, but usually if you do 10 rolls in a gacha game, there's like a rate up bonus that they give you, and so far some of the rolls I've done, but it almost reminds me of Azur Lane's gacha system, where they give you multiple resources and materials and different ways without having to pay money to acquire these reroll credentials. Of course, you could obtain the gems or the blue card in this game by doing quests or other achievements just while simply playing. This segment of the video is showcasing a couple gacha pulls that I did completely free to play. Overall, Abyss Front is a very generous and captivating gacha game that honestly has a good chance of giving Azur Lane a run for their money. Controlling harbors and resources actually make you want to play the game and actually pay attention without mindlessly clicking next and going to the next stage and doing it all over again. The social aspects of the game are definitely there with the alliance function, and the ranking system actually makes you want to climb and stay competitive with the other players. And last but not least, I'm in love with the abyss forms that each girl has and the stunning animation and work that was put into making this game. Like I was saying in the beginning of the video, this is currently only in Southeast Asia, open beta at this time, but seeing how Komoe Game released Final Gear in Japan, I'm sure it's only a matter of time to have a Japanese release along with a North American release. And I definitely want to hear the opinion of what you think about this game, so let me know down below. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.